Okay, don't have a lot of battery left. Update, I haven't been around for a while. If you've been seeing the news, maybe you've been following what's going on in Austin, Texas. It's actually happening a lot all over the country. Big winter storm. A lot of public utilities didn't have the mechanisms in place because it's unexpected weather, basically once in a 100-year type of scenario where I'll show you it's white everywhere, which you don't ever see in Austin, and it snowed earlier, crazy. So we've been out of power since Monday, and we went into a hotel that night. Then the next day we stayed with a friend, and as we were coming back to get some food, it just traumatized me to even think about it. I walked up to the house that we just moved into a week ago that we're renting, and I heard fire alarms going nonstop, and then I heard water, and I opened the door, and there was water all over my floor, dripping out of the ceilings. Almost broke down, got overwhelmed. Oh no, just freaking out, and then water off, went into action mode, pure just adrenaline hopping in, like what can I do, rushing around, and long story short, 3 hours scooping water out, trying to kind of get things off the ground that are valuable, and getting bins in all the places where it's dripping. You know, it was even upstairs, even in Allison's room, and it was crazy. So I thought I turned the water off. I thought I found the valve, and we came back the next day after leaving and staying with our friends, and then the house was still flooded and water was still coming out of the ceilings. And what I figured out was that the two open holes that had the water valve shut off at the front of the driveway were actually for my neighbors. And my landlord came through, when we moved in and showed me, and he was kind of like, well, I think it's this one. So I went to that one, and the next day when he actually came out, the neighbor, he's like, our water's been off. And I was actually going to go out to shut it off, but do you think maybe you turned our water off? And so we're looking at it, and then we start shoveling snow away, and I see two covered holes with those little small covers, metal covers, like cast iron. His were open for some reason. Ours had covers. Pulled them both off, found another switch, and turned it off, and finally the water went off. Crazy. So we have to move. We got to find a new place. We're in Wimberley staying with her mom's. She has power. It's crazy. It really is. And I'm actually probably excited because I think we're going to find a better place. Throughout this whole process, the framework of control, which is a foundational principle in the Better Mind method, is about focusing on what I can control. The only thing I can control is how I respond to the situation, right? I can take certain actions now to maybe find a new place. I can control how I'm responding and thinking and whether I'm stressed or anxious or whatever. And I'm not worried. There's a lot of things to be grateful for. It actually forces us as a family to focus on what we have to be grateful for. And, a few specific things aside from having life and limb and health, right? And the kids being okay. A few of the things specifically are we just bought a couch and that was going to get delivered, but it didn't get delivered yet. We had no protection on that. If that would have gotten delivered, that would have been ruined. We have a washer and dryer, same thing, that was literally in transit that we've been able to hold and not get delivered. We sold all of our old stuff to the people that bought our house, so we didn't have to move it. We had a fridge, we had 2 fridges, we had a couch, etc. And if all that stuff would have been moved into this new house, it would have been a completely different situation, right? It's not our house. The insurance for the homeowners, they're going to have to deal with it. We're going to find a new place to live, and hopefully it'll be a better place, a bigger place, a closer place, whatever. Okay? So the lesson here, and I wouldn't even share this because I don't need or want or ever kind of seek anybody to feel bad for me or anything. I would only even talk about this if there was a teachable moment here, and I think there is. The teachable moment is to really internalize the Stoic framework of control. I can't even say it. The Stoic framework of control. It's amazing when you have recorded videos daily. It's amazing, you pick it up quick, but you're not as sharp. And I'm actually in their Airbnb recording this with obviously limited lighting. The battery's about to die. I haven't charged it. It's a lot of craziness. But I don't feel bothered or upset or even that stressed about it. I actually got a lot of work done today at a table. I just posted it with my laptop, got a bunch of work done, felt productive. My son's out in the snow having a great time. We are eating home-cooked meals. We had some meat we brought with us. It's great. So whatever's next is going to be meant to be. We obviously weren't meant to be in that home. And it is a very liberating thing when you can get to that point where you can control the equanimity of your inner world, right? Equanimity, your mental state, your calmness. And it's really something we should all be focused on trying to achieve and protect at all costs. But we're not taught this in schools. Our culture doesn't celebrate it. There's a lot of issues there I won't get into, but these are things that prepare you for life, that you should practice and know and at least be aware of, to be able to live your best life, to be able to not just be a victim of circumstance in your environment, whereas most people end up being a pinball in the game of life. Wherever they get pinged around is where they go.